Hello everyone. It is Jackie with Pocket of Preschool, and tonight we are talking all about gifts that you can have your kiddos make in the classroom for a holiday or a classroom event that are cheap. Most of these things are from the dollar store, and I'm going to teach you some tricks so you don't want to pull your hair out while you're having all 18 or 25 or 6, however many kiddos you have. Well, all of them are having to make these kid presents with permanent paint because it can be so stressful to make presents and with kiddos that are out and schedules. So it gets really crazy to make kid gifts in the classroom. It's a lot harder than families think. So I'm going to tell you my top kid gifts that are easy to make. A lot of them are from the dollar store. Some you can make in bulk, so that way if you're doing a bigger event, or maybe you have 2 half-day classes, so you have 50 kids. I'm going to give you guys some budget-friendly ideas too if you have 2 sessions too. So we're going to jump right in and get started, but at the top, I just finished a blog post with all of these gifts in detail with links and for all the supplies and things. So if you need that is at the top. There's also a link to my TPT store, all the things. But in the comments, I want you to tell me what is your go-to kid gift that you have them make for families, for Mother's Day, Father's Day, Christmas, Thanksgiving. Maybe you do a spring event for families. What's your gift that you have to make? Or that you if you're oh, I'm stressed, I'm doing this, and it's easy and done, but fun at the same time. So tell me in the comments, because I love hearing what you guys are doing in the classroom too. So my first trick is, I guess, is, so a lot of my things, I use acrylic paint, and I, for a lot of them, and I use things from the dollar store. But my trick is with acrylic paint, so I always put them in a cupcake holder. And you can put it on a tray too. That way if the paintbrushes kind of flap out like that, it's no big deal. But this way, all the paintbrushes can kind of stay a little bit. You don't have cups going all over the table. It's so much easier. And you don't have to put that much paint in the bottom. And I don't know about you, but it always takes me because when I taught full day, I had 18 kids a day, but I could have up to 25 on my roster. And they all didn't come the same day. So it would take me multiple days, sometimes a whole week during small group time or whatever it is, to make these kid gifts. So I didn't want to throw away all this paint. So I just put it in, this was a 12 cupcake one. I just cut it in half, and then I cover it with saran wrap every night, and I wash the brushes every night. That way I can reuse the paint, and I'm not throwing it all away. So that's my favorite little trick on paint. So like I said, a lot of these are going to use acrylic paint. The paint I use is just either I buy it when it's on sale at Michael's or Walmart, and I just buy this acrylic paint. A lot of the ones I'm going to show you, you don't even have to use Mod Podge and cover them at the end. You can if you want. So I'm going to show you that too. All right, so again, acrylic paint I get from Michael's or Target. You can get these. Sometimes they put it all the way down to 50 cents or something. So they're super cheap. But go buy your paint a month before, or just buy a whole set of colors this week before everybody runs out and buys up all the paint. Because there is a shortage right now. I don't know if you've noticed at Michael's on acrylic paint. Everybody's making crafts, I guess. So my first favorite all time is these jars. So these are from the dollar store. One year I actually had a parent, they had a wedding, or they were cleaning out their basement, and they're like, we have 20 of these jars, because I guess they use them for centerpieces, and I used those one year. So these you can sometimes find at the garage sales too, or Facebook Marketplace. So yeah. So they literally just paint them. You can tell this one a 3-year-old did, and they literally just take the brush and paint. And I usually don't coat these with, these haven't been coated with Mod Podge. And I think my kiddos made these for me because he was in my class this year. I think 4 years ago now. So they've held up pretty good. I have them in my office. This one, you can tell a pre-K kiddo made it. I always have them. Sometimes they make me some because these are cute too to use. Buy an extra one and put like your pens in it, like your sign in. But you can tell like they actually made like a sun and some designs and flowers, whereas my 3-year-old just painted. But you guys, they both look gorgeous. And you don't have to put anything in them. Like you can just put these in a bag and send it home. You don't have to fill it with candy. You don't have to put flowers in it. Just paint the vase and send it home. And families will be so, so happy. Or give it to them on like the event date or whatever it is. So vases from the dollar store are the easiest and they're my favorite. And too, because they're easy to turn because they have like a you can put your hand in the middle and turn them that way. So that's my favorite. The other one are pots. Now, the only thing with pots is usually I put dirt in, we have put dirt in them and we put a flower in them for when they send them home. Or I know the dollar store has those seed packets. So if you don't want to mess with dirt, and honestly a lot of the dirt, they all have fertilizers in it. So if you want to avoid the dirt, just have your kiddos paint a pot. You can get them at like dollar store sometimes has them in packs of 3. Lowe's, Walmart. And again, I use acrylic paint on these too because acrylic paint it won't wash off. So don't use washable paint. Just use like the acrylic paint again on these pots, and they're just clay pots. You don't have to buy the bottom for them. It's fine. But you can just put like a seed packet on the inside if you don't want to mess with the dirt and putting a flower in. Especially if this is a really good one if you have like 2 sessions. Because a lot of these times you can get these pots for like 50 cents. If you get like, and you don't have to get like a big giant pot. You can get this size or the small. There's like one more size down. Because a parent could put like or a family member could put like a little fake flower in it. Anything you want. And that's another thing I've seen teachers do with these too. They take that Easter grass and put it in there, and then they make like a handprint flower for it too. So that's fun as well. So you can put dirt in there, real flower, packet of seeds, or just Easter grass and do like a handprint flower in there too. And again, acrylic paint, clay pot, super simple. So that's another one. Another one is just a handprint towel. Take your favorite handprint. They're all over Pinterest. This like flower one's super easy. They just put their handprint there and then they can paint the stem, or you can paint the stem. And again, I use acrylic paint. My trick is with these. So I typically use these bar mat towels from Walmart. If you go to my blog post, I have a link. You can buy these off Amazon too. I can't remember. I want to say they come out to be like $1 or $2 a piece. I can't remember. But if you have a bigger class, don't worry. And you don't want to spend the money on towels. You can also do washcloths because you can get like an 18 pack of washcloths. So you can give every parent like a handprint washcloth. Especially if you have 2 sessions, this is the way to go. Or you have 25 kids. Or you can do like the pot holders from the dollar store. You can get like 2 of them. And then just use like a pastel color paint. And then they can just do the handprint craft on the pot holder. So you don't have to use the towel. You can use different, washcloth, pot holder. And then, so my trick on doing the handprint. So let me get a towel out. So you get the towel out, write the kiddo's name on the towel tag. And then put a piece of cardstock in the middle, fold it over, and then paint their hand and then have them press it on, press. But you're always gonna get those spots that don't go all the way down. Like let's just pretend like this middle of their hand didn't paint. I usually go, or you can tell like there's like those paint marks where you painted their hand, like the brush strokes. I just go back and I take a paintbrush and I just go in and I just like dab, dab, dab to get rid of those streaks, or maybe the kiddo wiggled and they missed a spot. Just dab, dab, dab and get that little spot so that way their hands look cute and you don't have to redo it. Because I don't know about you, but handprint, they used to stress me out. It took me a little bit to get to where I could like paint the kiddo's hand, do it, and then now that I have my little trick, it doesn't stress me out anymore because they don't have to be perfect. Because I'm a perfectionist, y'all know. Like, I want everything to look amazing, and handprints just don't for me. So just dab, dab, dab on those spots, and your handprints will all look perfect, and you won't have to pull your hair out to make them. So yeah, and then you can just tie a ribbon at the top, and I just folded it over a little bit just to like add a pop of color. You don't have to do that though if you don't want. These are the ones my own kiddos made for me one year, because you know you always have your kiddos make you stuff too, right? Always. So we have the handprint towels, washcloths, pot holders, then we have all the vases. And then another fun one are canvases. This is one my kid made me when he was in my class. So all you're gonna do is you're gonna buy canvases from either the Dollar Tree or Michael's, and you can buy like the big pack. Use your coupon or buy them on sale. You don't have to do the big giant ones. If you have a double sessions, buy the coaster size ones because those are just as good too. You don't have to buy the big ones. Buy the smaller ones if they have those at the Dollar Tree. So yeah, so what I do is I usually do 2 kiddos at a time when I do the 2 to 4 depending on the kiddos. And I have them sit by me and I say, okay, I have them draw their picture, and you can either have them do with a pencil or a Sharpie. It depends on your kiddos, how brave you are. But the pencils, if you do a pencil in here, it doesn't erase super well. So just know that if you have them use a pencil and they mess up. But I had my kiddos just use a Sharpie. Do you love all my legs? I apparently am like an octopus to my kiddos. I love it. He made this when he was 3. It's so fun. I love looking back at stuff like this. So he made it. You can like sing the song. You can be like, okay, everybody draw your head. You can sing Mat Man. Give them that extra support. Have them draw the belly and the arms and legs and the hair and things like that. And then have them write their name. I always have, when you're doing anything with their name for a gift, I always have their name cards with me. That way I can be like, okay, first you need to make your tea. And then if they need, if you need to help them, they can. I always try and have them make their name independently because it's the gift for the family member. They don't want me to write their child's name. We want them to write their child to write their name wherever they are at that time. So give them their name card for support, whether they're writing in an uppercase or lowercase, whatever they're doing, and have them write it in. Like you can see my little guy, he didn't really make his S, but that's okay because that's what he was doing at that time when he made this. And the mom kind of looks like a wow mom. It says wow because he wrote his M's upside down. But that's one thing I love about this because it's his, he made it. So if your kiddos aren't writing their names all the way, it's okay. They're little. They're still learning. That's what they're supposed to be doing. And you want to... the gifts that you give the families will show that, and then the next year their names will look different. But that's one of the special things about these little kid gifts because they're little kids. They're not first graders, second graders. So yes, so Sharpie first, and then all they do is take acrylic paint and then paint it in. And then he apparently wanted to do dots, so he covered this one in some dots. And you can still see the Sharpie. And again, this is just Sharpie and acrylic paint. Super, super simple. You can also have them make 2 people if they want to fit. It's up to you. You can have them draw whoever their special person is. Their mom, their dad, their grandma, their grandpa, whoever. And then I just usually put the name on the back with the date. So canvases are fun. And then basically any other thing that you find at the dollar store or Walmart to paint. Like I've done these wooden frames before. These are usually at the dollars or at Walmart for $1. I have found these little like boxes at the Dollar Tree. These are $1. These would be really cute for a parent gift. So sometimes if you just find something that's different that they can just paint, that's perfect. Kimberly says, what do you do if you have a toddler class? I would give them something that isn't breakable. So maybe like some kind of box like this, Or you could, if you did do something that is glass, you can always take a piece of Scotch tape and tape it to the table so that way it's not wiggling on them. Or put one of those rubber mats underneath it so it's not wiggling, and just let them paint an object because it'll be gorgeous. And then if you have toddlers and the brown paint thing bugs you because you know, brown, like if they mix all the colors together, it makes brown. Give them colors that mix well. So give them like red, orange, and yellow and pink, because if those mix, they won't turn brown. Or give them all cool colors, or give them two colors that mix that, you know, give them like red and yellow, and when they mix, it'll make orange. Or give them green or give them red and blue, and then it'll mix purple. Or give them like purple and then white, and when it mixes, it'll turn that pastel color. So just if they are gonna mix, so if you have like infants or toddlers, and maybe the infants are just like finger painting and all over it, that's totally fine. Just give them two colors that you know when they mix, they'll look gorgeous together. And you can always sprinkle glitter on too, always. So yeah, so those are some fun ideas to paint all the things. And then I also like doing magnets for presents. And you can use so many different things for magnets. So the Dollar Tree recently, at least mine, has these like wooden shapes. There's 10 in a package. 10. So if you have, again, a whole bunch of kids, if you have 3 sessions of 20 kids, or, you know, you just don't have that much money right now, these are perfect. Grab a pack, 3, 4 packs, however many you need, of these wooden shapes. Again, Dollar Tree, they're 10 to a pack. And then they can just paint them. And then all I do is I plop a magnet on the back. And I just get my magnets off Amazon. I have 3 left on this page. I have some square ones too. So yeah, and then you just put a magnet on the back, and they're super cute. They're on their fridge. These I do a lot for Grandparents' Day, because sometimes they have 2 sets of grandparents in. I've had kiddos come and they have 4 sets of grandparents come in, which is amazing. Or maybe they have mom and dad come in for Grandparents' Day or whatever it is. But these are great too if you have an event where you don't know who's coming, and maybe they have 2 sets because of the family dynamic. These are great too because you can have each kid make like 3 or 4, and that way everybody gets one, and the parents aren't sitting there going, or the families aren't sitting there like having to decide, well, okay, you get the jar, no, I get the jar, and you don't have to make like a bazillion. These wood magnets, or any of these magnets, are perfect because that way everybody gets one to take home. The child is happy, all the family members are happy, and no one feels left out, because every family is different, right? Like, it happens. And that's what makes all of our families unique and amazing. So if you don't know or have multiple family people coming in for these kiddos, which, how lucky are those kiddos that they are having multiple people come in for your classroom event or celebration? Just give them, everybody make 2 or 3, and now everybody has them. So those are fun. Oh, and again, sorry. So all you do is take the wood, they paint with acrylic paint. Always write their name on the back first, and then you can put the magnet on once it's dry. So you can do wooden magnets. You can also do like the gem magnets. These are just those glass gems from the dollar store or the Dollar Tree. They're the bigger ones, not the ones I typically use for the counting games. They're like the next size up. But all they do is and again, this is another one, if you have family members where a kiddo has 2 or 3 family members coming in, have each kiddo make 4, and then everybody gets a magnet. Just take, throw them a paintbrush. So give everybody some magnets, and then they just paint the magnet however they want, and then let it dry, and then you stick a magnet on the back. Put that over here. And maybe they might make a rainbow, or they may do dots. They just may make some gorgeous design. And there you go. You got some really cute and super affordable little magnets. just plop a magnet on the back, and there you go. So cute and gorgeous. And the kiddos will be so happy when they see them on their fridge at home. So again, you can do the wooden magnets or the glass gem magnets. And then these are really fun. So these are thumbprint magnets. So this is that oven clay. So it's in like those little square packages at Michael's. I actually had a whole bunch of clay left over from a different project. And I was like, well, what can we use these for a gift? So I decided to do these little thumbprint magnets. So all that each kiddo did was they got to pick the color they wanted. I typically got, I think, 3 magnets per little square. And I want to say the clay squares are about like $1 from Walmart or Michael's. But yeah, they just take the clay and then they roll it into a ball, which is great, fine motor, and then they push their thumb in. And then what you can do is take your cookie sheet and cover it in parchment paper and then put the magnets on and then write the kiddo's name, like right here. Like let's say this is the parchment paper. You can be like, this is Julie. And then put it in the oven, and then when they come out, after it dries, you can write their names on the back. Because I don't know if it bakes off or not. And just bake it to however the clay says to bake it. You could probably also use like that air dry, like flour clay, salt flour dough. You could probably use that too. I just happen to have extra clay, and I needed to use it up before it went bad. Now, if you're doing these thumbprint magnets, don't buy the reusable clay that doesn't dry. Because I did that one year on accident. And I was like, why aren't these drying? And I read the package. It was that reusable clay that never dries. So if you're doing clay thumbprint magnets, make sure it dries. I learned from my mistakes. And you can tell this one, I used a magnet on the back. It was those strips, and I just hot glued it. And this one has a circle on the back. Whatever works. And these I did cover with Mod Podge because the kids wanted to put glitter on them. So, oven dry clay with thumbprints or fingerprints, whichever they want. Okay. So, but you can, like I said, you can probably get 3 thumbprint magnets per little $1 thing of clay. All right. So those are some options. And then for centerpieces, or these can be a gift too. So these are some cute flowers. So I call them 3D flowers. These make great centerpieces too if you're doing like a graduation in your classroom or an event. So all they do, let me just show you how to make them real quick. Okay, so all you're gonna do is they are gonna take a piece of paper and they're just gonna roll it up. And look at all this great fine motor. Roll, roll, roll. And then they're gonna use some tape. You probably wanna use Scotch tape rather than this masking tape, but you do whatever you have and works for you. And they just tape it shut. And then they're going to take a piece of paper, which you're probably gonna wanna cut into a strip about, this wide. And then all they're gonna do is they're just gonna like either fringe or cut long lines along it, but don't cut all the way to the edge. They're just gonna snip, snip, snip. And this will be the top of the flower. All I'm doing is rolling this up. Roll, roll, roll. And then you just put this on the inside. I rolled mine probably tighter than a kiddo would. And then they can like open it up. And then you would just add some tape, and then they can just cut some leaves. And look how cute are these flowers. My kiddo made these. If you have a pot like this, how cute would it be if they made like a fake flower and you put that inside? Like how cute is that? So cute. So Another idea for the pot I just thought of. So just roll up some paper. I used Astro Brights paper for this just because it's a little bit easier. It's thinner and it's a little bit easier to roll than construction paper. And then they cut the tops and look how cute these little leaves are. So cute. So you can make flowers. And again, you can use these for centerpieces for an event. You can just put these in a bag and your kiddo can give their mom flowers or their grandma flowers or their dad, whoever, flowers for whatever occasion you're celebrating. And then let's talk cards. So we always have done the typical handprint card, right? Oh gosh, I'm spilling. So I do in my TPT store, I do have a muffins with mom. It also now has an option for muffins in the morning. So that way it's a more inclusive event. So that way, because every family is different. We want to make sure all families are included and thought about for these events. So you can just call it muffins in the morning. You can included our cards in that pack with a whole bunch of stuff. And one has like the Happy Mother's Day on it. And then another one, there's a different card in there if they have somebody else coming. But like you can put thank you for helping me grow, and you can make the handprint card on here, which turns out like this. Here it is. Oh, thank you for helping me grow. Here's the other card. So you can have all your kiddos make one of these. And again, this is washable paint. If I don't use, anytime we do handprints on paper, I always use washable paint. And I find that these foam brushes work the best when you're getting all the paint because you can kind of like smush it in. Or they can just take their hand and smush it in the paper plate and then smash it on the table, whatever you want to do. So you can always do that typical handprint card, or, and I always keep baby wipes close when I'm doing anything with like the acrylic paint or just handprint paint, just because. You can also just make a card station. So put out some stickers. These are just some foam star ones I had. And then put out some word cards. And if you sign up for my newsletter at the bottom of every week, or when you sign up for it for the first time, you get the family word card set for free. So just put those out, and you can put out the uppercase. You can see I have lowercase, some markers, and then just put out some folded paper. And then they can write whoever they're making the card for on it, add some stickers, and draw, because that is just as amazing. They didn't do the inside. That's just as awesome as a handprint card. And these are, the kiddos can do these independently for the most part. And that way everybody has one and they can make it for whoever they want. So there's two ways to make cards. Those are the two ways I make cards in my classroom. Either do like a handprint, or I just put out word cards and they make their own with stickers. Because let's face it, a mom or a dad or a grandma or a grandpa or an aunt or a foster mom, whoever is getting that card, they're just, whatever the card looks like, even if it's like a 3-year-old's card and it is all pure scribbles and they have no idea what the picture is, it still just melts their heart because it's from their kiddo or a special kiddo to them. So yeah, so those are and I mean, you can always do like the typical handprint crafts and things, but I just wanted to share with you guys some different ideas like the pots or the jars or the canvases or the towels or all of the magnets. Just some different ideas you could do that aren't so super cookie cutter. Obviously, this is a little bit cookie cutter, but there's just something about having a child's hand and like keeping and remembering how little they once were with their handprint that just melts my heart. So yeah, so just some fun open-ended things. Oh, and then there's always jewelry. You can always make any of this, and you can always just put out some. I always do pipe cleaners and some beads and cut straws, and you can always just throw in some jewelry because the moms will always love it. Now, will they always wear it? Probably not, but I still have jewelry that my kiddos made me in preschool in my jewelry drawer still. Always. My mom's got some, so I'm sure if you just want to do jewelry, they will love that too. So yeah. Oh, and then don't forget about the flowers. So I hope those were a whole bunch of ideas. And again, I made a whole blog post. It's up, the link is up at the top with all of these ideas, kind of linking all the things I used and all of that. So yeah, and again, you can use these gifts for anything. You can change up the colors too and do them for the holidays. Like you could like change up the colors of these vases and make them for Christmas or Hanukkah, whatever type of Christmas your kiddos celebrate. So you can mix up the paint colors. You can put different people on here. Yeah, you can change up the handprint to make it match whatever event you're doing. And the magnets are good. I saw somebody put they're gonna do the magnets for graduation. These are a fun like end of the year gift or a just because gift. So yeah. Oh, and these magnets are also really fun to make for like on Secretary's Day and things like that. You could have everybody in the class make one, and then you can walk around and just give out little magnets to different school helpers in your school one day. So just as like an act of kindness would be fun too. So yeah. So I hope you guys got lots and lots of ideas. If you guys want to watch any of my past Facebook Lives, they're at the top of this post. You guys have a great night, and I will talk to you soon.